So you clicked on this video because you want to see how to act wealthy even with $0 in your pocket. Growing up, I've always went to school and seen kids with the newest sneakers, the newest items, and all the trips they went on over summer, and all I could say was that I went to my park to play baseball every day that it didn't rain. I would always see the kids with the new off-white sneakers, the new Louis Vuitton sneakers, and I'm wondering how and where and what's going on in their life that they can afford these things. My mind was extremely limited to Vans and maybe Nike sneakers, and at that point I just kind of gave up and didn't even want to compete anymore. Being in my low income neighborhood constantly constrained my mindset to, okay, you get a okay car, maybe you get a 2006 Honda Civic, and then you live in the projects where the heat doesn't even work, and you go to your job at McDonald's so that you can barely make ends meet, and you don't have any ambition for yourself. That's exactly the system that this neighborhood has built for me and other people. And I won't lie to you, 85 to 90% of people will stay in this exact same spot. I knew immediately that I had to change my environment, even if I was stuck in this low income area. So I did certain things to change my environment to where I was looking at wealthy things way more often than I was looking at low income things. I went from working for NYCHA, which is a New York City housing thing. I went from working at Burger King. I worked at the most ghetto Costco ever, and none of these jobs helped me visualize what money looks like. I knew I had to get out of the neighborhood. So the first thing I did to act wealthy even when I was broke was change my environment. I went ahead and I got a job in Manhattan, right smack dab on 42nd Street. I was able to come out of work every day and see the beautiful skyscrapers and all the rich tourists just spending their money and having that abundance mindset that I was always looking for. I specifically worked at a Best Buy right on 42nd Street so that the people buying 5 gaming laptops and buying 3 MacBooks and then just going to dinner after were the audience that I would serve. My mindset immediately started to switch, and I saw that money was not scarce. Money was extremely abundant and the economy was flowing. I completely taught myself that being broke was a choice and that choice can be made by you. I obviously went ahead to move on from Best Buy, and now I work for this beautiful company called Equinox, and that's when everything changed for my environment. Now I was doing one-on-one interactions because I have my own office now. I have my own. It is the most fancy job I've had. You get your own office. You do one-on-one clients, so you interview these people to join the gym, and these guys are worth 50 million, 100 million. I've met somebody worth $300 million before. So I completely switched up everything in my environment, and now my mindset on money is set. Every time I look at somebody struggling, every time I'm in my low income neighborhood, which I'm still in, I realize that we all got here by choice. You know, it might sound cruel, but there were a lot of choices our parents made, that we made to end up here. But it's so beautiful because you know that you can make choices to get out of this situation. I ended up getting that job, and now I make nearly 6 figures a year, and I'm gonna get myself out of this environment very soon. So the first thing you want to do is change that environment. Change your environment is probably the most important tip out of this whole video. Change your environment so that what you see is abundance. Now, the next thing you want to do is change your circle. So this one was kind of complicated because I grew my connections through my job at Equinox. Now I know some of the most important people. I know like some of the head software engineers at Apple. Like, I grew my connections through my job, but there's many ways to do this. You can go to black tie events in the city. You can go to different things that are posted online that, you know, you can expand your network. There's always networking events, especially in big cities. For me specifically, I used my job Equinox because it only serves wealthy people. So I knew that's exactly where I needed to make my friends. So quitting my job at McDonald's, quitting my job where products were cheap and customers were horrible, I quit all of that and moved on to where we only sold products to wealthy people. That changed my mindset on people because then I realized wealthy people aren't bad people. They're some of the nicest and most humble people ever. They're always saying thank you, and they never ask for much. It is the weirdest thing. When I used to work at Burger King, I had a guy that made me redo his burger 5 times. Go to Equinox, I signed this guy up for $1,200 first month. He pays $500 a month. spend 6,000 on personal training. I never hear from the guy again. He's satisfied. He's good. He has what he needs. It's very interesting to see how your connections, the quality, you'll be way less bothered when your connections are good. Now, I did have to kind of distance myself from some of my friends. Even though I grew up with them, a lot of them are in the same spot that they were 2 years ago. And honestly, I'm not a babysitter, so I kind of just keep my distance now. I obviously am there when they need me, but I definitely make sure not to say yes to too many things anymore. I try not to hang around too much because they're always talking about how money is bad. And I kind of just do that. You don't have to completely cut off your friends. You probably should eventually, but I'm in the phase where I'm not completely gonna cut them off just randomly. But make sure you surround yourself with an abundance mindset group of friends that always want to do things, that take action. Don't surround yourself with talkers. Surround yourself with doers, because they will be the ones that will push you to take action. Surround yourself with people that are better than you so that you can become, even if you're the worst in the room, you're still better than most of the people in the other rooms. So just surround yourself with healthy-minded people that have that mindset of ambition and goals. I did that through my job. You can do it through events. You can do it through a bunch of different things. Just make sure you don't stay in one spot, and the connections around your low-income neighborhood is probably not the right place to look. Now, the next tip is the craziest double-edged sword that I'm ever going to give in this video, and it's to save your money, but don't be scarce with your money. So let me explain that. I'm not scarce with my money in the terms of if I want it, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy another, guys, I'm about to buy my 4th car. Be abundant with your money and be abundant with your income, but don't spend it recklessly. So I budget, and that budget is big. I usually have I call it naked money. It's just liquid money, after bills, after everything I owe, all of that, insurance, whatever. I have naked money. That is the money that I can use for whatever I want. I can blow it tomorrow and I'll still be okay. Budget yourself so that you can have that abundant mindset, so that you can freely just spend whatever you want, because you're like, okay, this money is not for anything else. Also, save your money, because then you can open your bank account and you can see that big number growing every day. That is the biggest thing that kind of shifted my mindset completely. Sometimes I won't buy things just so I could keep that number in my bank account. I could wake up, look at it and go, okay, I'm doing good for myself. I could do it again. Oh, wow, I just got paid even more. My business is doing good. Look at these blue, it's usually blue. Look at all this blue compared to the red. This is awesome. I usually use credit cards so that my Chase account stays kind of dead for a couple weeks, and I just use it for bills. That's my strategy. If you guys want a budgeting video, let me know. I definitely have some sauce to drop to you guys. Definitely a lot of sauce, I'm not gonna lie. But you look at your Chase account, oh wow, look at that, more blues than red, you're growing. Now your mindset's I have money, I can spend whatever I want. And you could look at stuff and go, let me go shopping, and then you never buy nothing. You're like, I just didn't want it. Or if you do want it super bad, you're like, okay, let me just get it. Stuff like that. Just be abundant with your mindset on money. Try to keep that money in that account so that you can look at it, or in your investments so you can look at your investments. Just look at it and just go, wow, $1,000. I didn't have that last month. Wow, $4,000. I didn't have that 2 months ago. You're like, wow, look at me. I have money. I have money to dispose. That is the best feeling. It's the better feeling than anything else. And I buy my stuff secondhand so that I can have more money in my pocket, and nobody ever notices. Nobody ever notices. I have some of the nicest things that I've bought in recent years, and nobody ever notices, ever. And it's funny because if I bought it brand new, I'd have way less money than I do now. But yeah, guys, that is how you kind of act wealthy. Just to sum it up, you want to change your environment. That is the thing that changed my life, changing my environment. It kind of just came along with everything else. Change the people you talk to. Just connect with healthy mindset people. Doesn't even have to be financially, just ambitious people that have action and take action towards their goals. And the last thing is be abundant with your money that's in your account, so that you can look at it and be proud of yourself. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's make some money together. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.